You're driving along, everything seems fine, and then suddenly your engine sputters, maybe stalls, or refuses to start altogether. You try turning the key again, nothing but cranking. Or maybe the car starts, but the RPMs jump around, or the check engine light starts flashing like a warning flare. These are more than just random hiccups. One of the most common and overlooked causes, a failing crankshaft position sensor. In today's video, we're going to walk through the real-world symptoms of a bad crankshaft position sensor, how to accurately test it yourself with just a few tools, and what steps to take once you know it's the root of the issue. If you've ever been hit with a mysterious no-start problem, sudden engine stalls, or unexplained misfires, this might be the exact issue behind it. The crankshaft position sensor, also known as the CKP sensor, is a vital part of your engine management system. It monitors the position and rotational speed of the crankshaft and sends this data to your car's computer, or ECU. Why does this matter? Because the ECU uses this information to control ignition timing and fuel injection. If the signal from the sensor is missing or incorrect, your engine doesn't know when to fire the spark plugs or deliver fuel, meaning it either runs terribly or not at all. So, how do you know when the crankshaft position sensor is going bad? Here are the most common and reliable symptoms to watch out for. First, the check engine light. It's the most obvious sign. If your car's onboard computer detects irregular signals or a loss of signal from the sensor, it will usually trigger codes like P0335, P0336, or P0337. You'll need an OBDII scanner to pull these codes, but many auto parts stores offer this service for free. Next up, you may notice your car is hard to start, or worse, it won't start at all. This is because without a signal from the crankshaft sensor, your ECU has no idea when to ignite the fuel-air mixture. In many cases, the engine will crank just fine, but never catch. This issue often gets misdiagnosed as a fuel problem, but if your fuel pump is working and the battery is good, it's time to look at the CKP sensor. A stalling engine is another red flag. You might be driving along normally, and then the engine suddenly shuts off, especially when idling or coming to a stop. Sometimes the engine will restart immediately, and other times it won't restart until it cools down. That's often a sign of a sensor that's failing intermittently, especially due to heat. You might also experience rough idling, vibration, or frequent misfires. This happens when the sensor is still working, but the signal is weak or inconsistent. Because the ECU is getting bad data, it miscalculates ignition timing, which causes the engine to run unevenly. Over time, this can lead to poor performance, sluggish acceleration, and even damage to other engine components. And don't forget about your RPM gauge. In some vehicles, a faulty CKP sensor can cause the tachometer to behave strangely, jumping around or dropping to zero when it shouldn't. That's another sign the sensor isn't sending a clean signal. So now that you know the symptoms, how can you be sure it's the crankshaft position sensor and not something else, like a fuel injector, ignition coil, or camshaft sensor? The answer lies in a few simple diagnostic steps you can do at home. First, use an OBDII scanner to pull the fault codes. As mentioned earlier, look for codes like P0335 through P0338. These codes specifically refer to issues with the crankshaft position sensor circuit. Most scanners also allow you to view live data. When cranking the engine, you should see an RPM reading, usually between 100 and 400. If the reading stays at zero, it's likely that the sensor isn't sending any signal. Next, you can perform a resistance test using a standard multimeter. Start by disconnecting the sensor from its electrical connector. Set your multimeter to measure ohms and probe the two terminals on the sensor. If you have a traditional magnetic type sensor, you should see a resistance reading somewhere between 200 and 1000 ohms. A reading of zero means a short circuit, and a reading of OL or infinite resistance means the sensor is open. Either case means it's no longer functioning. If your sensor is a Hall effect type, which is common on newer vehicles, you'll want to perform a voltage test instead. With the ignition in the on position, backprobe the signal wire and ground using your multimeter set to DC volts. Then have someone crank the engine. A working sensor will produce a square wave signal or at least a fluctuating voltage as the crankshaft turns. If you see a flat line or no voltage change, the sensor is likely faulty. Don't forget to inspect the wiring and connector. Sometimes, The sensor itself is fine, but the wiring is damaged, especially near the connector or if it's routed near a hot exhaust or moving parts. Look for signs of corrosion, fraying, or melted insulation. Also, check for oil contamination around the sensor. This can happen if it's located near an oil passage or crank seal. For those of you who have access to an oscilloscope, that's the most accurate way to verify the sensor's signal. A healthy inductive sensor will produce a clean sine wave, while a Hall effect sensor will output a crisp square wave pattern. Any dropouts or erratic signals while cranking can confirm an intermittent failure that might not show up in a quick resistance test. Let's say you've diagnosed the problem and confirmed the crankshaft position sensor is faulty. At that point, it's time to address the issue. But don't worry, it's usually a straightforward job. Start by locating the sensor. It's often found near the front crank pulley, the flywheel, or along the transmission bell housing. In many vehicles, it's held in place by just 1 or 2 bolts and a plug-in connector. Before starting, disconnect your battery to avoid any electrical shorts. Also, if the sensor is located near the flywheel or bell housing, be extra cautious. These areas can collect grime, and bolts might be hard to access without a long extension or swivel socket. Then unplug the connector, remove the bolts, and gently pull the sensor out. Sometimes it may be stuck due to dirt or oil buildup, so a bit of gentle twisting helps. Before installing the new sensor, clean the mounting area with a rag to remove any debris or residue. Make sure the replacement matches the original in size and shape. Lightly lubricate the O-ring, if present, with a small amount of engine oil to help it seat properly. Then install the new sensor, tighten the bolts to spec, and reconnect the harness. After installation, reconnect the battery and use your scan tool to clear any stored trouble codes. On some vehicles, the ECU may require a relearned procedure for the crankshaft and camshaft timing correlation. This can often be done using a scan tool or simply by starting the engine and letting it idle for a few minutes until it stabilizes. Once that's done, it's time for a test. Start the engine and observe how it behaves. Look for smooth idle, stable RPMs, and no hesitation when revving. If everything checks out and the check engine light stays off, you've successfully taken care of the problem. To wrap it up, the crankshaft position sensor is small, but it plays a huge role in your engine's operation. When it starts to fail, the symptoms can seem random or hard to trace, but now you know what to look for. By learning how to test it yourself, you can save time, avoid unnecessary repairs, and keep your car running at its best. If you found this guide helpful, give the video a like and subscribe for more DIY automotive tips. And if you have any questions or if your car is showing some of these symptoms, drop a comment below. I'd love to help. Thanks for watching, and drive safely out there.